What's going down, film fans? Your homie Jay Greene back right now with yet another review, and right now it's for Joyride, or as some of you might know it by its original working title, Joy Fuck Club. Look it up. Now, for those of y'all out there who have no idea what this movie is all about, or if this raunch-com is even gonna be for you, let me break y'all off with the knowledge like this. We start off by meeting Audrey, a young Asian American girl adopted by white parents living in an all-white neighborhood. And unfortunately, she ain't got no friends. Aww. That is until one day when Lolo shows up to the playground, and now, over the years, these two girls become best of homies. We then montage all the way until adulthood, where Audrey has become a successful lawyer, and let's just say that her homie, Lolo, is a brilliant artist. Now at this point, Audrey is trying to close this huge deal for her firm that can make or break her career, right? Now in order for Audrey to close this deal, she's got to go all the way to China to make it happen, and she has no idea how to speak Mandarin, so she's got to take Lolo with her in order to be her interpreter. Now, Lolo sees this as an opportunity, not just one, to go to China, two, for her homegirl to close this fat deal and get paid, but three, for her to finally meet her birth mother for the first time ever. And you already know shenanigans will ensue. Now let me tell y'all that this movie was great, but let me tell you why. First off the top, this movie is hilarious, and I would liken it to a combination of Get Out, The Hangover, and Girls Trip in all of the best ways, and then some. Now it's a comedy, but I say that it's similar to Get Out in the way that Audrey is kind of subjected to a lot of racial bias from a lot of her white coworkers and people around her in general. And because of how she was raised and how she grew up, when she actually gets to China, she actually is portraying a lot of those racial bias towards her own people. And I love the way that the movie was able to play off of those Asian American stereotypes directed towards Audrey, and then even kind of have her directing them towards people in China. But then as the movie goes along, give her an arc where she now understands more about her people and culture, and also comes away from this adventure knowing a little bit more about herself at the same time. And I was able to do all of this without ever compromising the laughs. Now, I reference The Hangover because of this wild countrywide trip with some drinking and some drug use for sure. But where the movie shines and it doesn't become just another Hangover or Girls Trip style film alone is the fact that it's able to balance the wild and the crazy along with the emotional and the drama extremely well, again, without ever sacrificing the laughs. And last but not least, I would say it's like the Girls Trip because we got four girls on, again, a wild and crazy trip talking a lot about sex and dick. And you know what? I'm here for that. But what really makes me a huge fan of this film is the fact that as I'm watching it and I'm laughing and having a great time, I was really able to identify with a lot of Audrey's struggles. Now, I grew up in a single-parent household and I never knew my dad, so there's a part of me that I have no idea about. And much like Audrey in this film, I've had friends, coworkers, and even girlfriends at times continue to ask me, hey man, do you want to find your pops? Where's he at? What's he look like? What's he all about? Don't you want to know? But I probably would say that because the fact that my mom was such a strong woman when she was raising me and I was growing up, I was good. I didn't really feel like I had the need to look for someone who didn't want me.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I could identify with her in the way that when she went to China, when certain people found out more about her and the fact that she was American, for the most part, they would talk about her in a type of way or judge her based on her complexion or her facial structure, things of that nature. Almost in the same way that some people in my lifetime have commented on my blackness because of the shade of my skin, how I talk, or how I act. Now I know what you're thinking. Damn, this boy's getting real. But I say all that to say that when I'm watching this particular movie, I'm liking it for two different reasons. One is a subjective, one is an objective. This movie made me laugh out loud a number of times from a combination of physical, cerebral, and situational comedy. I was genuinely entertained by the story throughout the entire film, and for me, it wrapped up with a great ending that put a smile on my face. But what really made this movie a win in my book was the emotional elements and the realization of the importance of knowing one's self and where you come from. And those things are all subjective to me. Now, if those sound like things in a movie that you would like, then I think you're gonna like this movie. This movie was a tight 95 minutes, great length for a comedy. And for what these women are trying to sell us on screen, the acting and the chemistry was on point. The direction was on point. Let's not forget that this is a filthy, raunchy comedy. And for a movie like this, you need the directing and the editing to be on point in order to sell the comedic moments to the fullest. And this movie has just that. With all the debate right now amongst what should or shouldn't be said in comedies or even in stand-up comedy, this movie right here holds no punches. And you know what? It's better for that. Now, what I just gave you right now is pretty much objective opinions. And if you're down with all those objective opinions I just gave you, then this movie might be for you. Now, the last thing that I'm gonna add on why I think that this movie is so great, and y'all should run out to the theaters right now to go see it, aside from all that subjective and objective goodness that I just broke down, is because this movie is repping an all Asian American cast, including the director. She killed it behind the lens. For me, the representation in this film does not feel forced as it has in other films that have come out in recent years. So if you want more films led by women, directed by women, and starring beautiful people that look like you, then I suggest that you do not stream this film. Make it a night out, go get your tickets, head to the theater right now, and have a great time. Your homie, Jay Greene, I'm out.